Okay, and we are live with the BS Busters 100th episode. I am Centurion. A century being 100.
Power.
You're cutting out, Triple M. So it's me, Mr. Red Fox. You guys may or may not know me. If you don't, Jesus, you're watching the 100th episode and you didn't watch any of the previous ones before this. Shame on you. If you do, awesome stuff. So without further ado, let's get into the nitty-gritty. But before we do, we're going to have to introduce the other people here. I'm going to start with the person who's been here the longest out of everyone. Like, he was there at damn near the beginning. Pokemon Black, Blue there. Introduce yourself.
Hey kids, this is Triple M, the lone wolf and the heart of gold that my limbs never stops. So let's stop snoozing and go juicing. Blue team and sunglasses rootin'. Splatfest, baby.
Now see, it just sounds wrong when you say it. You splatted. That's disgusting. I'm also joined by another old head who's been here for a while. I'm calling him KH Anime because I'm not Neapolitan gamer.
What's a paladin?
What? And like I said, I'm gonna change it up. And I'm gonna change it up one last time. I promise.
What's a paladin?
And yep, Neapolitan gamer, formerly known as KH Anime, whichever you want to call me, don't matter to me. Let's get this thing started.
And I'm also joined by another great person of ours, great contributor, also kind of an old head, been here for a while, Kanoshi Abominito.
Hello, this is Kanoshi Abominito, and I listen to a podcast, and I think and at the end of the year they have their Game of the Year extravaganza, and I think one of the things, and they have a title called Please Stop, and I think they're going to have to put Please Stop Shipping Broke-Ass Games on that list again.
please, and please stop charging us to develop your game. It's supposed to be the publisher gives you money to make it, and then they sell it. And if you budget right, once you sell 500,000, you've paid for everyone for the game to get made, and everything above that's gravy. Please don't charge us extra money to fix your damn game. Anyway,
yeah, exactly.
So exactly. I guess it's time to get into the nitty. Okay, who's playing Mario?
Me.
Damn it! That's right, damn you! Not Mario. Anyway, so I guess it's time to get into the nitty gritty with one of the more important aspects, which is the Q&A-a-thon. This is a Q&A-a-thon. We will be answering questions. The Q&A app is open, so you can, friggin' ask questions, and I'll try and answer them. Or actually, the panel will try and answer them. I'll try and answer some of them, but I can only do so much. So, without further ado, I guess it's time to get down into the nitty-gritty, if you will. So, I guess we'll start with the first question. The first question is one from Anderson Archilla, Mario 128, Cross 64. I don't get it either. You find it hilariously weird that the most controversial games of this generation have mostly all been from Nintendo, and all for rather stupid reasons. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Yeah, I think people just like to bitch. Remember the old adage of the internet, If you can't bitch, it's not the internet, I guess. I just made that up.
Anyone want to add to that?
To be honest, Anderson, this thing is rather confusing. I mean, in my eyes, the one company that actually does not everything but most of it right, yet still get lambasted. And I'm like, okay, then the other companies that does it worse than them, they'll get some complaints. They still buy it.
Exactly. They still buy
Again.
it. I'm gonna take a page out of Liger's playbook. Look, if you don't like something, don't fucking buy it. I mean, I know that's a novel idea. Like, I don't like the Xbox division. I have not bought an Xbox system. I don't buy their games. I don't support them. Period. Because I don't like it. You know, you don't see me sitting here, man, fuck Microsoft. Yeah, I'm going to buy this Xbox 360 and get like 18, 19 games on the system, but fuck them. How does that work?
Yeah, I noticed that people buy consoles and bitch about them. It's like you're defeating the purpose, aren't you, by buying it, giving them money?
You lose the right to complain if you're paying for the shit. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, sure, you can critique about it, but what I keep seeing is more than just that.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what's going down. So Cage, you're the last one left.
Well, remember, anything Nintendo does, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, it's gonna get hated on regardless. But let somebody else do it. Let another game or another games come out. Oh, you know, it's broken or has a glitch. Oh, it's okay. They're gonna patch it up. But Nintendo had a game-breaking glitch that was unintentional. Off of everybody's head.
Here, I'll give you the perfect example. Nintendo comes out with a new IP that has no established precedent, doesn't have voice chat. People are ready to shit a brick. EA comes out with the third installment for a franchise that has had voice chat for, like, almost all of its existence. Because I think even the PS2 Battlefronts had voice chat. Star Wars Battlefronts had voice chat, if you had the peripheral, but it was there. And yet, no one says anything.
When Nintendo does anything, they're not willing to shit a brick, but shit brick house.
Yeah, they will shit a brick house if it's Nintendo. So I mean, you know, it's people are very prudent. They're very prudential about who they choose to get angry about them doing something. So on to the next question, since we all answered that one. This is from Yin Yan Yao. As an RPG fan, I'll ask this one. Ever had an RPG feel so weird yet familiar to you? I'm at least aware of several of them, but the one currently for me is Adventure Bar Story, where you have to eat your profits literally for EXP points. So, anyone had an RPG that felt so weird yet familiar to you?
None I can think of.
None? Like, none that you were like everyone's like, this game is so unique. It's never been done before. And then you play it and you're like, I've played this game before. Not the exact game, but something like it. You know, it's like, eh.
Oh, yeah, going back in time mechanics. Remember when Square Enix tried to do that with Final Fantasy 13 too?
Yeah. They tried to copy Chrono Trigger.
Yeah,
and it was
too bad. Y'all did it already in a much better game known as Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, this bootleg Chrono Trigger.
Just I'm like 13.3. Oh, you got 13 days to save the world. Too bad. Majora's Mask did it like over a decade.
They did it in 3, motherfucker. They did it in 3
days too.
3 days, yeah.
I guess it's my turn. Well, I know I'm gonna say this, and some people are gonna get mad, but it's my podcast. I don't give a shit. Undertale. Everyone's like, man, we've never played a quirky, weird RPG before.
Yeah,
I did. It was called Earthbound.
Oh my gosh, Drew. I'm like, Drew
I did.
is going to get you.
I did. It was called Earthbound. I'm sorry. I
mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a good game. I mean, it looks good. I want to get Undertale, but it's like,
it's a good game.
You guys never play Earthbound or anything?
Exactly. Look, I'm not saying it's not a good game. It's a good game, but like the quirky, weird RPG wheelhouse has already been busted open. and it was done by a better developer, Shigesato Itoi and Ape Entertainment. Earthbound.
Come
Don't
on,
forget,
kid.
don't forget.
Not many people played Earthbound. Oh snap! It's on the Virtual Console.
Yeah.
Continue.
Oh, don't forget that the late Satoru Iwata helped the program for that game.
Yeah, I mean, look, Undertale is a great game and all that, but does it let you fight a pile of barf?
Oh, come on.
Does it let you fight a pile of barf? That's all. Look, if it lets me fight a pile of barf, I'll consider it. But does it let you fight a pile of barf? Do you get to use an item in your inventory to distract the pile of barf so that you can get some free hits on it for a few rounds?
You know, that sounds really, really strange.
Does it? Let me ask. Does it have a brainy character that you can recruit who might not have magical abilities but can create a fucking laser bazooka?
Yeah, that bottle rocket is like OP in that game.
It is until you get the laser bazooka. Question: Does it have a guy who's like your conventional sword wielding, magic wielding character named Pooh? Does it? Seriously, his name is Pooh.
So weird.
No, really, those are the default names of the characters. It's Ness, Paula, Jeff, and Pooh. I mean, seriously, that's his name, Pooh. Prince, actually, it's Prince Pooh, but
Yeah.
one day when his father dies, he'll become King Pooh. He'll become King Pooh.
Yeah, I left all the names default. That's just me. The only character I renamed was the dog.
Yeah, the dog. No one really cares what his name is, but generally their default name: Ness, Paula, Jeff, and Pooh. That's just.
I'm
Pooh.
sorry, but when you say King Pooh, why am I being remembered Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Well, there's always the great and mighty
I'm
Pooh.
not saying. Are you talking? I'm not saying. Don't tell me you thinking about Pooh Bear.
No. There's no. His name is Pooh, and it's spelled P-O-O. Pooh. King Pooh. Prince Pooh. That's his name, Prince Pooh. And then if his father dies and he gets the succession, he becomes King Pooh. I wonder if he takes over the rest of the Earthbound Kingdom, Onet and Tucson and all those other places, and creates an empire. Would he become Emperor Pooh? I am Emperor Pooh, the great, mighty Pooh. No, that's my line. I am the great, mighty Pooh.
Start singing.
How do you think I keep this lovely grin? Only people who played Conker's Bad Fur Day would get that joke.
I kind of get it.
Yeah. But I'm not Undertale. I was like, yeah, this is fine. It's not a bad game. It's perfectly serviceable. Like, I've played quirky weird RPG before though, and like 20-some years ago. So I'm not impressed by it now. So anyone else got an RPG they played that was kind of familiar? Like, I've played this before.
Now, I really can't say. The only thing that's close enough is Pokemon.
What did you play that was like Pokemon before you played Pokemon?
I have. You know what? It's probably Dragon Quest, even though I've only played only the beginning part of it, and even died on it. So.
Okay.
The mechanics did. When I played Pokemon, the mechanics did remind me Dragon Quest at first. That's as far as I could say.
I could see that. The thing that I always kind of felt about Final Fantasy and like some of the early Final Fantasies, like Final Fantasy IV especially, I always thought the battle music for Final Fantasy IV sounded not the boss music, but the normal like everyday battle music sounded kind of familiar to the battle music in Pokemon, like the old school Pokemon.
Wait, you mean the Pokemon battle theme trainer or gym leader?
like if you're just the trainer or ran into a wild Pokemon, you know, dun 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 dun.
Okay,
that sounded kind of like the Pokemon, the Final Fantasy IV battle music, you know.
Yeah, that's the trainer battle.
And then when you win, you know, dun 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 dun. Except in Pokemon, it's what was it? Yeah, I mean, it always felt Final Fantasy-esque to me. I'm like, this is kind of Final Fantasy for a handheld. It kind of is.
Yeah, when you think about it, it does sound a lot like Final Fantasy music.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned it, I was like, shoot, this really is.
But they kind of kicked it up a notch, because I got to be frank with it. Even though I love the original Pokemon, that Game Corner theme music that they had in Gold and Silver shat all over what they had in
Red and Blue.
Red, Blue, and Yellow. I'm sorry. That Game Corner music was badass. I feel like gambling.
I don't have an RPG, but I could say a few games that were just pretty much like other games, and that's every first-person shooter, mainly probably except for BioShock, of the 7th generation. Pretty much all the same.
I could understand that. They do all feel the same. They are very similar to one another.
Well, just in time, Command the Good Shepherd, and we're just talking about RPG games.
Oh my God, that is perfect timing. All right, beautiful. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's the Good Shepherd. Shut up and play.
Well, the question was from Yin Yan Yao, and she asked if
She? I thought Yin Yang Yang was male. That's awesome.
I thought Yin
Girl
Yang
power.
was a woman. I'm
Well,
reasonably
either
certain. Yeah.
I mean, maybe he, she, gaming power. Either way, let's do this.
Yin Yan Yao said, as an RPG fan, her question was, ever had an RPG feel so weird yet familiar to you? I'm at least aware of several of them, but the one currently for me is Adventure Bar Story, where you have to eat your profits literally for experience points.
Oh wow. I don't know how to comment on this one actually. Wow. It's been a while since I've been baffled. Damn. An RPG that had me scratching my head.
Well, that was like familiar to you. It's like, this feels like something else I've played.
It feels really great, like you're comfortable with it, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, okay, this is weird, but I'm with it. I honestly can't think of that off the top of my head.
Well,
I'm ashamed I'm stumped. I'll have to think about this one, actually.
I got one for you. I got one for you. I haven't played an old school traditional Final Fantasy in 15, 16 years. But then I played Xenoblade Chronicles X, and to me it feels like the logical next step in Final Fantasy. Like, it has like the equivalent to magic. It has overdrives. It has timed combat. Like, it has it has active time battle.
You just gave me the perfect example to make you feel offended, my friend.
No, go ahead, man. I mean, it
Final
feels
Fantasy Explorers. Final Fantasy Explorers, the new game from the 3DS, feels like an advancement of Final Fantasy II combined with Monster Hunters.
Is this Final Fantasy II like?
Yes, the one with the weird experience based on fighting and everything.
Oh,
it's not exactly the same, but it's the same.
I can see that.
And I was about to mention Final Fantasy Explorers. Like, what game made you? What other game made you remind when you played that game? But yeah, you figured it out.
There's so many Final Fantasies. Final Fantasy V also ties into that game as well, with the whole job class system. Also, Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV with the online play. People may not like the original Final Fantasy XIV, but Realm Reborn, hate to admit it, it's a great game. Granted, it's not something everybody want to get into because it's an MMO and you want to pay for it. But Final Fantasy XIV, Realm Reborn, is actually a good game.
I try to stay away from established
agree with you.
franchises that go
You should.
RPG.
No, I agree with you. Stay away from it. I
Go
fell
MMO,
into it
sorry.
because I agree with you. I fell into it and I love it. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody, but I can't stop playing the damn game.
How much does that game cost a month? How much is a monthly cost for that game?
I think it's like 15 a month.
Somebody said it was like 30. It's like, oh crap.
No, it's 15. No, it's 15.
Yeah, and in the rest of the world, in Japan, I know they have different subscriptions.
What I do is I sit around, wait for a few updates, and I'll pay for like 3 months straight, and then I'll just tackle everything.
Yeah.
And then get out. And then wait for more updates. That way I don't have to pay for a whole year.
That's what I did for.
That actually makes sense.
What was it
I never
called?
thought of it like that.
That's what I did for the Old Republic. Is like I basically spent like when it first came out I paid for 3 months. I beat like 4 character storylines and did did the PvP, did the PvE, and I was like, I'm done. Like I did a Jedi, I did a Sith Lord, I did the Smuggler, and I did the the bounty hunter. I'm like, I don't need to know all these other character stuff because who cares about the consular? No one cares about the consular.
Is that game as bad as people said it was, or
The Old Republic?
Yeah.
Here's the problem with the Old Republic. Had the Old Republic been like KOTOR or KOTOR 2, where basically like you could build your character any damn way you wanted, so you could be a Jedi, a dual-wielding Jedi who could also heal people. You could be a smuggler and just stick with being a smuggler. Like, you could basically build your party any way you wanted, build your character any way you wanted. There were no real restrictions. The problem with the Old Republic was that they were basically it was basically World of Warcraft with a Star Wars skin. Like, I have to be a warrior, so I'm a warrior. I have to be a DPS, so I'm a DPS. I have to be the guy with the gun, and I can't do anything else but be the guy with the gun. Like, they pigeonholed you into being to playing certain roles in that game, and that shot it in the ass. For those of you watching, you can ask questions in the Q&A app or in the thing, the discussion feed.
Yeah, it's empty, man.
It's empty. Hey, man, that means we can get through this shit faster. Although Shadow Fox said he might be able to make it at 8, but if not, we can do something else. We have another question from Anderson Archilla, and this is one to me.
No, you cannot steal Shadow. Shadow's supposed to be on part 2 to the OGL.
Yeah, so yeah. If he can make that one, then I might drop in on that one. Regarding your business, which arcade machines are the most popular? Which is the least? That's a very interesting question because
I'd like to know the answer to that too. Actually, sorry.
So I'll tell you. I have 3 locations, and depending on the location, basically informs which is more popular. It's not the same shit popular at all 3 places. At the location that's more like into like mainstream DC, believe it or not, Street Fighter 2 Turbo is really popular. I see a lot of people playing that all the time.
Street Fighter 3 Turbo?
Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
2 Turbo, okay.
2 Turbo, yeah, 2 Turbo. Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Street Fighter 3 Turbo. What's that, a ROM hack?
No. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. That gets a lot of sales. Of course, this is like an arcade version, so it has all the extra shit, but it's basically Street Fighter 2 Turbo. That is really popular. Like some of the Capcom, like 1942s, Aerogeist, like a lot of the first-person shooters are popular. At that location. My second location, believe it or not, my racing games are popular. So Super Hang-On and like Cruising USA and shit like that is really popular. My last location is more like old school stuff, and the old classics are popular there. So your Donkey Kong, your Miss Pac-Man, your Pac-Man, your Tetris. Have you ever seen someone try to play Tetris drunk?
I just bought Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 and there's already an update? Wow. Sorry.
Has anyone? I have a question
Yo,
for you guys.
PlayStation 4 pisses me off sometimes.
When it's
Seriously.
on sale?
Updates drive me nuts.
It's on sale, isn't it?
No, it's not on sale yet. I'm just saying that it's like, at least with my Wii U, most of the updates happen behind the scenes. So when I boot my game up, it takes a few seconds most of the time. With my PlayStation 4, there are times I'll buy a game, I own it, and I'll turn on the system, and then I gotta wait several minutes because it's updating. And there's nothing wrong with updates. I like updates.
That's modern gaming, though.
But if I have an update several times a week,
there's
it's
a problem.
like,
yeah,
I'm like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's that frequent with this particular issue.
No,
but I just bought the game a few days ago.
Well,
and I'm like, I have 2 updates already.
Well, they should have a thing where you can like have a day where it like silent boots and then downloads and updates the shit automatically. It's like, I'm not gonna be home Tuesday morning.
But here's the funny part, dude.
10 o'clock.
The PlayStation 4 has a rest mode. I always have my PlayStation 4 in a rest mode. Therefore, if there's an update, it should go silently in the background. Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, look, man.
Don't get me wrong. It doesn't take long. It's not like the PlayStation 3, but I still find it annoying.
Yeah.
I'll admit it. The PlayStation 4 is not a bad system. I just got spoiled with my Wii U.
Yeah, I can understand that.
How can you be spoiled with the Wii U? That's weak, man.
Yeah, the Wii U is weak. I don't know how anyone could be spoiled with that.
As weak as it is, and you know what? You said it perfectly. The weak may be the weak U. That's why I call it the weak U. May not be as powerful as people like it to be, but it is proficient.
Yeah.
And I keep it real with you. As a grown man in this day and age, proficiency beats power 95% of the time.
That's what they say. That's what they say. Our next question is another one from Anderson Archilla. How hilarious do you think it is that Don Karnak blames the Virtual Boy for why current VR isn't changing everything forever, or the apparent lawsuit leveraged against the Oculus company?
Yo, Anderson, I love this dude. He is so smart. I love it. Sorry, go ahead. You guys ask. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Who wants to tackle that question?
Wait a minute. That was John Carmack?
Well, it's the guy who's the current CEO of the Oculus Rift company.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It could be John Karnak. I don't know. John Karnak
hasn't done anything in a long.
He hasn't done anything since Doom, so you know.
That reminds me. I'm gonna lie to you. I can't wait to play the new Doom. I admit it. I'm not big on that genre, but I loved it on the computer as a kid. That was one of my favorite games. It scared the crap out of me, but I loved it at the same time. Doom was my shiznit as a kid. I used to play it I was like a freshman in high school, I think, back then.
Yeah.
Doom and Duke Nukem were my 2 favorite games.
I was in like 6th grade, and I would play it on the gaming PC.
Thanks for making me feel. You know what? You're not allowed to speak when I'm talking because you make me feel old.
No, I was in 6th grade, and I would play it I would play it on the gaming PC in our after school, because like they let us do whatever the hell we want as long as we weren't hurting anybody. So I'd go down there and play Doom and Prince of Persia and Wolfenstein.
Oh yes, Prince of Persia was my shit. Yo, Prince of Persia. Oh my god, I love that game. And I played the game and it was garbage. Like I played it the original computer version.
Oh yeah.
Like, it looked like you were playing an Atari game, Prince of Persia. And I loved it with all my heart. That was one of my favorite games of all time.
When Ubisoft
Did I die on? Yes.
Ubisoft was good.
Yeah, what happened to Ubisoft? They got too soft.
They got too big. That's the problem. They got too big. So who wants to answer that? Who wants to answer that question from Anderson about why the Virtual Boy is holding down virtual reality now, even though the Virtual Boy is 20 years old.
Well, here's what I'm going to say to the person that made that comment. Chap, shut the F up. Because Virtual
You,
Boy.
you calm now, but on Doc's podcast, you just let it all out.
You let it all hang out.
Oh, wow, Triple, calm down. I think we got you too hyped. He's actually, Anderson's actually on your side. Take a deep breath. Woof. Man.
I just used the first letter. I didn't say the whole thing.
But I'm just saying, wow, bro.
Weren't there other virtual reality helmets after the Virtual Boy too?
Yes,
yeah.
And they had the bigger, not market share. They were more known.
How many did the Virtual Boys actually sell? Like five units? I mean, how is that the problem?
The Virtual Boy sold
less than 50,000 worldwide.
Yeah, I mean that's nothing.
And here's the thing: there were other virtual reality helmets, because I remember vividly in 1991 when they had the CES of that year, they were showing off virtual reality, and they had people wearing and sitting in front of a computer wearing stupid shit on their face, just like now.
You know what the hilarious part is? Virtual Boy would have sold more. The problem is a lot of us were broke when we were younger, and it's an incomplete technology.
Yeah.
I think right now, if Nintendo seriously got back into that whole realm, they would kill it. Between the technology developed from the Wii and the 3DS technology, they could probably build a new Virtual Boy that doesn't even require a headset. If they do, it might be one of those like Google Plus goggles. And that's not me being a fanboy, because this is the misconception people have. I actually left Nintendo completely in the Wii generation. I did not like the Wii. I keep it real. A lot of people like the Wii. I did not like the Wii. Now, I'm not saying the Wii is not great. Looking back, I know my judgment was incorrect. But I did not like the Wii at all. I thought it was BS. I played it with my family, but that was about it. I wouldn't spend any money on the Wii. But now that I've learned more and more over time, I'm like, you know what? The potential there, people sleep on. They're like, oh, it's only for the casuals. No. They catered more to the casuals, but they still kept the gamers in mind. It's just people's ego got the best of them. There's tons of great games for gamers. They just were so mad that Nintendo conceded to the casuals that they forgot that Nintendo still tried their best to cater to the people that was with them all along. Because the problem is, gamers, we're too fickle. We're a bunch of immature idiots at times.
Something I spilled beans many years ago.
So yeah, exactly. So that's the big issue. And honestly, if Nintendo took virtual gaming seriously, they would murder. And they wouldn't even have to do half the crap the Oculus Rift or those Project Morpheus nonsense is. And it's not coming as a Nintendo fanboy. Because I keep it real. I had way more games for my PS3 and my PSP than I ever did for anything Nintendo related last generation. I came across the Wii U and I was completely honest with myself. I pointed out what was right and what was wrong. People are sleeping on the Wii U. The Wii U is pretty much the best Nintendo console ever. You know why? You could play almost anything the Nintendo has ever made on the Wii U.
That's been released so far again.
Exactly. If you really think about it. I'll leave it up to you. All I'll say is, you don't have to take my word for it. Just seriously think about it. And if you think I'm wrong, I am the Good Shepherd. You can find me on Google Plus, and we can talk about this.
You know what you should.
I'm not narrow-minded. I'm willing to have these discussions. I am the Good Shepherd. Look for the Good Shepherd on Google Plus, and we could do this.
You know what you should have said when you said that? Is that I'm the Good Shepherd, but you don't have to take my word for it, like LeVar Burton in Reading Rainbow. But you don't have to take my word for it.
I got you. I got you.
But my point, I mean, I have to agree with you. Look, let me put it this way, okay? The Virtual Boy didn't hurt virtual reality. The fact of the matter is that it's not a perfect technology.
It was incomplete and it was delivered too early.
Yeah, just like it was 20-some years ago, where like you had people sitting up there with shit on their face, sitting in front of hooked up to a computer, spending huge amounts of money to upgrade their PC to run this shit. It's the same shit now. It's cheaper than it was then. Back then it was like $4, $5.
And you know what's another thing that was great, but people sleep on it because they got lazy with it? The Power Glove.
It's so bad.
The Power Glove. No. If you look into the actual story behind the Power Glove, the Power Glove was the shit.
The idea behind it was awesome. The execution was total ass.
Mattel forced them to cut so many corners with the Power Glove.
Yeah.
The Power Glove was the remote almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was a really good idea, but the technology wasn't there, and they weren't going to spend the money to make it.
No, that's the funny part. The technology was there, but it wasn't cost efficient.
Yeah, they weren't going to spend the money to get it to work right. So I mean, look, let me put it this way. The Power Glove, as its iteration when it hit the market, it's like that movie that we all saw that was like an hour and a half Nintendo commercial.
Okay, the words got
Power
you.
Glove. It's so bad. You're right, Lucas. It is so bad.
It is hard. It is absolutely bad.
Look, never has a phrase more true been uttered.
Yeah, that Power Glove must have been as bad as the movie that advertised it.
Actually,
but it was sad.
Not that bad. But the movie
it's sad though. It's sad though because looking back, now that I know what I know, the Power Glove potentially would have been a beast. The problem is that they couldn't make it feasible price-wise.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing that happened with the Virtual Boy. The technology wasn't there, and even now the technology isn't there for virtual reality.
It's still not there. They're impatient.
And they're trying
to wait at least another 5 to 10 years. Yeah, they're greedy assholes. That's the truth. We need to wait a little bit longer and just tweak this more.
Well, they're trying to.
Like now we can make a Power Glove. We can make a Power Glove now that is loyal to what the Power Glove really was. But we still have a long way to go physically, visually.
But they could do that with augmented reality. They could give you a glove controller that lets you interact with the gaming world. But here's the hilarious thing. Here's the hilarious thing when I hear people talk about the Oculus Rift and VR and all that shit. You hear a lot of gamers say, we're tired of Nintendo making gimmick controllers and gimmicks.
Oh my god. Okay, I didn't know this is good. Continue.
VR is a gimmick. But you hear developers, man, we're going to create something. We're tired of Nintendo's gimmicks. So you don't like Nintendo's gimmicks, which have proven to make a lot of money. But you're willing to go with VR that has... I
hate to admit it, but at this point, at least when it comes to gaming, gimmicks should be thrown out the window. It doesn't exist. Because every time you use gimmick now, if you know anything about gaming, you say a gimmick, something is a gimmick in gaming, you just totally took away all your credibility.
Because everything in gaming is a gimmick. Everything. So you
really think about it,
We'll go back to Pong. You can have Pong and Tetris, that's it. That's the only game you can have. Because everything beyond that is a gimmick.
Yeah, seriously, the joystick was just a joystick and a button. Okay, that was fine, but now we have a digital pad. That's a gimmick. What? Shoulder button is a gimmick.
D-pad. Nope.
Analog stick is a gimmick. Rumble pack was a gimmick. An additional analog was a gimmick.
They're gonna take everything away from us until there's nothing left.
Wireless is a gimmick.
Everything's gonna be a gimmick. But we have another question from Anderson Archilla, who's also joined us, by the way, but sometimes he'll introduce yourself quickly, Anderson.
I do.
There you go. The man himself.
I love this dude. No homo. Anderson, you're freaking awesome. I love your questions. Seriously.
We have a question for him. From him. It's called. From what we've heard about Square Enix of Japan going against the wishes of Square Enix of Europe, do you think this will mean that they won't go completely the way of Sega? Let me put it this way. If Square Enix of Japan follows Nintendo, they can make it. Because we know that when they were with Nintendo back in the day, they made money. No question about it. If they start trying to become all westernized and trying to follow the way of Sony and Microsoft and multiple Japanese companies that go around sucking off Western third parties and Western first-party console manufacturers, they might be in trouble. But if they follow Nintendo, Nintendo's like Pat Riley. He'll take them to the Final Four. He'll take Capcom to the Final Four. He'll get you to the promised land.
But you know what? Here's a thought that actually came to me just recently or just now. What if the Europe division falters so far that the Japanese division can actually buy them out?
Well, I mean, I think that's what Square Enix Japan is trying to do. I think no, I don't mean the whole like them faltering. I think Square Enix Japan is trying to get enough capital to buy that branch out from under
The thing is, Square fell apart when Europe took over. Yeah. Nothing against Europe. I'm just saying it's the truth.
Yeah.
They're not the same Square Enix. Well, they're not the same Squaresoft.
When they merged with Enix, when Squaresoft merged with Enix, it started going down the shitter. But when they went and bought like Crystal Dynamics and all those like that used to be like that became the Square Enix Europe, like that is they don't understand how business works in Japan. They don't understand JRPGs. They don't understand that side of business, that type of business in that area. So their bullshit that works in Europe and America doesn't work in Japan. I'm sorry.
The whole thing is they're all partially right in the viewpoint for business. This is why I want to clarify this. Where they went wrong is that they don't understand that Square's specialty is how damn good they are when it comes to JRPGs.
Yep.
Which technically JRPGs don't exist. There's no such thing as JRPGs. There's just RPGs, but we just say JRPGs because it's easier to identify.
Let me put it this way: RPGs of a type that don't fall into the westernized RPG sentiment that tend to be more particularly Western. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. The point is that they didn't understand the market. They understand the Europe market. They understand a whole bunch of things, but they didn't understand what made Square so popular. They just thought, oh, Square was just an RPG company. No, Square was a JRPG company. Granted, let's expand Square and make them do RPGs and JRPGs. But don't take away that what made Square the juggernaut that it was, and that's where they screwed up.
Yeah,
they ignored that Square stronghouse is JRPGs.
Yep.
Well, don't forget.
That's why
people left.
Say that again.
Many of the talented people left.
Yeah. That was one.
That too.
They were in trouble.
But thanks to that, we have Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah. When Sakaguchi left, the guy who had been making Final Fantasy games for like 20-something years, and then the Monolith Soft people left, I was like all their talent left. I mean, the dudes who left.
And who made that one game? Not Paradox. Not Pandora. Crap. You know what I'm trying to say.
Bravely Default?
Not Bravely Default. Although that was a good game. I'm referring to the game that came out part of Project Rainfall.
Last Story?
Last Story. There you go.
That was Sakaguchi.
Yep. I couldn't remember the name of the game. You're right.
Hironobu Sakaguchi took all the talent with him, so what you had left were the people who weren't good enough to leave, and they stayed there. And I mean, it's a shell of what it used to be.
That's the same story as Rare.
Yep.
Sorry to y'all listening, although I'm not really sorry. The people that made Rare left.
Yeah.
They're like, what, less than a year?
So that asshole that Microsoft keeps on touting out, saying we've got Rare. You have a studio called Rare. You don't have.
Yeah, you have the company. You don't have the people that made Rare.
Yeah,
what
you have
Rare
a studio
was.
that's called Rare. But okay, you want to see Rare? Go to Ukulele's Kickstarter and see that. You see those people working over there? That's Rare.
Yep.
Okay.
You said it perfectly.
So, those assholes working at Rare now, we're making a pirate MMO game that's free to play. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're Rare, all right. Yeah, that's Rare, yeah. So, I mean, I guess ultimately
that's what I hate, because that makes Neo's comment on gaming. Granted, he didn't say it online. Can I say it? You can stop me right now. I'll give it a chance.
You can say it. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying it to Neo. Because it was a private conversation.
What's up?
Just stay on gaming. You have 10 seconds to make me stop. 10, 9,
I don't even know what's going on.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the state on gaming is this. Ah, crap. I was so busy messing with him, I forgot what I was going to say. I'll come back to it.
So our next question is another one from Anderson. So what do you think of Mario and Luigi Paper Jam? Personally, I think it's a charming little crossover, even if it's not the epic crossover one might have liked. I also think reviewers complaining about how streamlined it is, complete with a fast-forward button, contradicts complaints about Dream Team being too hard and time-consuming. What? Dream Team was too hard and time-consuming? That game was easy as fuck. But, I mean, I've been playing RPGs since I was...
I was gonna be like, bro, come on. You see, I was gonna be like, bro, come on. That's you should know by now. Me and you have to edit how we view gaming. Because sometimes we're too harsh. Because with Hello, Contra, and all these other games, it's like... Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Well, I mean, I have to qualify. The first RPG I ever played is Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is one of the hardest fucking RPGs ever created. So.
Oh, well, my first one was, I think it was Chrysalis.
Yeah, Chrysalis is hard. Chrysalis is hard, but Chrysalis is not like.
Oh no, I played Dragon Quest. I'm just saying my first game I can remember playing was Chrysalis.
Yeah, Chrysalis is hard, but if you grind in Chrysalis, you can get through it. But Dragon Quest, you can't even really grind in Dragon Quest. Because if you go to Dragon Quest, you get wiped out. It's ridiculous.
There goes Baby Mario again.
I hope she didn't make a boo boo.
It's a dude. It's a dude. So I think people just. I mean, personally, I like Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. It's not what I expected it was going to be, but it's still pretty damn good. So, whatever.
They actually complain about. Was it the crossover or was it
It's. Let me put it this way. Okay. When you from the trailers you see, it looks like it's going to be a crossover. But when you actually play it, it's a Mario Luigi game where your extra party member, instead of like Bowser from Bowser's Inside Story or Dream Luigi from Dream Team, it's Paper Mario. That's your extra character. That's your gimmick is Paper Mario. So whatever, it's a fun game. I don't know. I'm 22 and can play those games.
I have a question. Why is there so much selective outrage? How come we're so, as gamers, we're very inconsistent on what we get angry about? For example, Street Fighter V, the whole controversy with Mika. But yeah, nobody complained about Chun-Li's alternate costume, or the fact
Ryu.
No, the top. You should see it right. The top was real. Man.
Yeah, there's also everybody wants to complain about Bayonetta, but nobody wants to complain about the crude behavior in Grand Theft Auto. It's like
you know why? Because most gamers are punk ass biatches. They don't stand up for what really matters. They complain about complete nonsense. End of question.
Man.
Got a point there.
Yeah, but it's just that the whole Paper Mario thing. They complain that it's streamlined, and yet wasn't it a few years ago or even a decade ago? They complained games are too hard.
Yeah, and again, that goes along with the whole inconsistent outrage.
I'm just mind blown here.
It's about convenience. You only complain when it inconveniences you in particular, which is where my whole argument comes from. It's not even about gaming. It's about society in general. People have lost their gonads where it matters, and we complain about stuff where it doesn't matter. And if you think I'm being misogynistic, fine. They lost their clitoris in regards of things that matters. Boom! I just did a Dr. Feelgood for y'all.
I mean, I can't really. Look, people just want to. People are selective because they don't want to face the truth about themselves. If you're gonna complain about a game missing content, then you have to look at all games that are fucking missing content. If you're gonna complain about a game not having features, then let's complain about all games not fucking having features.
Well said. Here. My ninja. Let's do this.
And if you felt that way, then you just not play games because no one's perfect. Okay, even the company that, in my opinion, comes closest to basically delivering what you're supposed to get, which is a great game, great gameplay, not broken day one, their games aren't perfect. So I should just stop my hobby and not do anything that way. But you know, whatever.
Guess what? The perfect.
See, my whole standpoint is this: in life, if you can't make a difference, if you can't change things you don't like, shut up. If you can change it, go for it. I am all with it. Go for it. But if you're just going to cry and you're not going to do anything about it, have that seat. I'm just saying.
Oh, snap.
And that you took that from Dr. Trey, but I'll go with it. I
don't know if to deal with Dr. Trey, but I'm totally with him on that.
Yeah, have that seat, yeah. But yeah, I gotta agree with you guys.
And another example, let's talk about Fallout 4. Nobody's complaining about that. So when Battlefront came out, everybody was complaining about that. What the heck? Why are you guys so inconsistent about that? You guys were mad that there was $50 DLC and for Battlefront. But you're not mad that Fallout 4 isn't having $50 DLC? Well...
You mean the season pass?
Yeah, it's just some bullshit, man. That's all it is. It's all bullshit. That's why I do not, like, I'm gonna wait, like I probably, like, if I didn't have the season pass, if my girlfriend hadn't gotten the season pass for me, I probably would just wait to get this game until the Game of the Year edition came out. Like, because personally, I don't even like Fallout 4 that much, but I would like to see Obsidian get a chance to make like a midpoint game, kind of like they did with New Vegas, because their games are so much, like, their Fallout games are so much better than Bethesda's.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they are, but I digress. We have two questions left, and then we can call it a day because no one left anything in the Q&A app. I don't think. No, nothing. No one left anything in the Q&A app. This one from BBNN. I think I said it right. Do you think there will be an Xbox after the Xbox One? I hope for the industry's sake. He said that in parentheses. Will this hurt game development in the same way losing THQ and Midway hurt middle market games?
No, probably half or even 1/3. Not all of it.
Do I think the Xbox One, that there will be a successor?
Windows 10. That's all I have to say. Windows 10.
Yeah, Windows 10 is going to be their successor. They might create the equivalent to a Steam box, but it's going to be what they want to do with the Xbox One, but people got mad. Like, it's not going to have an optical drive. It's going to plug into your internet, and everything's going to be digital. And it probably won't even have a fucking hard drive. You'll probably have a license, and you'll load a game to like a cache memory type thing and play it like that. Although that would require optimization, because most developers now just want to download 50. They want you to download 50 damn gigs. So, I mean, you know, it'll probably have a hard drive, but it'll probably be really small. Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be an Xbox type thing, but as far as it being a traditional console, no. Which is good because Microsoft fucked up the industry with their money hatting, so fuck them.
The mentality of the industry.
Will it hurt game development? Not really. Because, I mean, here's the thing. Microsoft created a bubble because they would money hack games. So it created this artificial bubble where basically a developer didn't have to take a chance and use their own fucking budget to make a game. They take the 10, 15, 20, 30 million that Microsoft would give them, make the game, and then they get bennies on the licensing fees and bennies on advertisement, and then they just fucking be like, oh, well, everything above that, we're getting artificial profit. They would take a windfall as being an acceptable thing, when a windfall is something that happens every once in a while. It's not something you should count on. And that's what, I mean, why do you think all this bullshit these fuckers were talking, as soon as Microsoft stopped money hatting, they were like, oh, we'll put our games on anything. We'll do whatever we need to do. It's like, really? Because a while ago you were saying, fuck anybody. We're going to put our games on Xbox and PS4 only. So, I mean, you know.
Well, once again, you're using logic and referring to fallacies in the industry, which is something you really shouldn't be doing if you're trying to be honest in the whole YouTube community. Because, we're all supposed to lie and try to get as many subscribers as we can.
Yeah.
It's not about us being gamers for the gamers.
You're right. I made a mistake. I was using logic and truth and common sense. I take it back. Microsoft is just going to be fine. The Xbox is going to turn things around. They're going to make a ton of money, and there will be an Xbox 2 in 5 years.
Perfect answer. Carry on.
No, more like Xbox 2.0.
Nah.
And for the record, if you believe that, you're on the wrong channel, and you might need to want to get a brain IQ test to see if you are capable of mixing salt and water.
Yeah, it's gonna have 100% backwards compatibility with all Microsoft's previous consoles, and not fake backwards compatibility, real backwards compatibility. If you have the disc, you put it in to play it. It'll have a 3 terabyte hard drive, maybe even 4. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. And here's the thing: no online DRM. You buy the game, you own it.
Which makes me worried, because that's the sad part is there's a lot of people. I'm hoping I'm wrong. There's a lot of people that be like, "Oh my God, they're right." I'm like, "Oh, you freaking idiot!"
Yeah, please don't take what I just said as truthful. I was joking.
We're being facetious. Please don't believe that nonsense. If that's the case, you also believe that there's people who have in-house information regarding the NX, and the NX is coming out within this year, and is doing all this other crap. No, that's pure BS. I hate these NX rumors. Oh my God, it's so BS.
Our last question comes from Brian Pun, and his question is honesty, trust, and cooperation. What do you do if you're stuck in a situation where the other party lacks one or all of these qualities?
Before we continue that question, I hope the NX turns out to be a toaster. I hope it turns out to be a fucking toaster.
No, I honestly believe I'm leaning towards it being a new UI, a user interface where it's like, all right, it does a few more things. Like it's not something you can buy. Nothing physical.
You know what I think the NX is, and I'm not gonna troll anyone here.
It's not a streaming service for Japanese porn. Okay, stop it.
Well, no. I was being serious with my supposition. I think that the NX is going to be a unified system that is going to be able to tie in with your Wii U, your 3DS, and also be its own like kind of gaming system thing. I think that
oh my God, I hate you.
I'm going by the evidence that Iwata himself said, because
no, I hate you because that is actually my own stance. I think it's an advanced UI that's going to unite the systems officially.
Well, I mean, I think it's more than just a user interface because you can have a user interface on a smartphone. Like, that's just software. I think it's going to be a device that's also going to be able to play games, but it's going to be there to extend the life. Like everyone thinks
Agreed.
they're going to
Because the Wii U system doesn't have much internal memory, so it has to be something outside of that for this to work.
I think it's going to be a device that's going to extend the life of their current consoles because, like I said, the 3DS right now with the death of the Vita has no competition whatsoever. They want to
No, okay, let me clarify. You're right, but you're wrong. The Vita's still alive. It's struggling, but it's alive.
Only in your heart, man. Only
In Japan. In Japan.
Well, okay, you know what? I will give you that.
Alive in your heart.
I'm sorry, because I just bought a few games on the PSP. I'm on front.
It's the best time to get a Vita because they want to get the things off the damn shelf because they're taking up.
I agree.
It's great.
I agree.
I have a Vita TV. I'm not gonna lie.
You're totally
it's
right.
Great. I enjoy the games I have on it, but it like as far as it.
I never got a Vita TV, but I know what you're saying. Anyway, the 3DS completely destroys the Vita.
Yeah.
I hate to admit it, but it's a fact.
So I'm just saying the 3DS has no competition whatsoever.
It don't.
So essentially, right now,
Vita's nice, it's pretty, but it's not on the 3DS level.
Vita is the Betamax to the 3DS's VHS. I'm just saying, it's like, hey, look.
You know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. You're right. It's not you're being a bit harsh, and you know it.
Yes.
No, you're being a bit harsh, and you know it. But you're technically right. So I leave it alone.
I can't get here's the thing. People might get mad, but it's true. So I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just saying the 3DS has no competition. The Wii U, yes, it's not selling as much as Nintendo wants, but they're making a fuck ton of money off of it. So why would you be like, no, I'm going to stop making a fuck ton of money off of this and strangle it and throw the baby out with the bathwater? I think, like I said, I think the NX is going to be is going to unify the systems. It's going to basically connect with your internet, your PC, your smartphone, your 3DS, your Wii U. If they ever get quality of life going, like what if you could get your Nintendo achievement points by living healthily with your quality of life device on top of all the other shit you do with Nintendo? They want to basically take over your life in the friendly Nintendo Disneyland-esque way, not like in a evil society type of way.
Okay, off topic. Neo Paleo Gamer.
Yeah.
That's my game. That's my history. Sonic 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna play a lot of Sonic games this year because he is turning 25. So.
Really? But I mean, how are you going to do that? He's homeless and living out of a dumpster in San Alamito, Texas, San Alamito, California.
I'm doing the good ones.
Well, that's like three of them.
No Sonic 06, no Sonic Unleashed, no Sonic Boom.
That's three of them though. There's Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 / Sonic and Knuckles because those were like one game. That's it. Those are the good ones.
You weren't a fan of the Dreamcast ones.
Let me put it this way. Comparing Sonic's jump to 3D to Mario's jump to 3D, it's like Sonic tried to jump to 3D, but then his feet hit the bar and he fell flat on his face. Mario jumped to 3D and he started doing triple jumps and butt stomps and bouncing off of walls and shit. It's like, yeah, you did pretty well in 3D.
Yeah, I'm gonna lie to you. The concept of Sonic going 3D is beautiful. The execution is an entirely different story.
Yeah.
Mario, on the other hand, was like, this is how it's done. And you hate it or not, come on. If you are really being honest with yourself and looking at gaming, Mario did a damn good job in entering the 3D world.
And I'll be honest with you, I didn't think Mario could do it. I was one of those people that had, like, before the N64 came out and we saw Mario 64, they were like, the Mario game, the next Mario game is going to be in 3D. I was like, they can't do that. They can't make that work. And then I saw it and I was like, holy shit.
Well, my brother worked at Toys R Us at the time, so I didn't even have the chance to form that thought because he showed me some stuff and I was like, oh my god.
No, I didn't even get that. I was like in my head, I'm like, there's no way they can get that shit to work. And then I went to a toy. No, it was a KB. I went to a KB and I played the demo unit of Mario 64, and I was like, I gotta get this system. I gotta get this game because there was no fucking way that they could make that shit work.
That was the only time my brother was on top of gaming. Like, oh my god, my brother's the coolest bastard on the planet. Now it's like, dude, I gotta teach you everything. Yep. What pisses me off is the bastard still plays more games than me.
No,
what he does, no. He's a fake gamer. He acts all cool and like, I don't game anymore. But then he'll wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and play Legend of Zelda 5 hours straight.
I'm like, he's got to get his fix.
I was like, dude. I'm like, really, man.
It's Legend of Zelda.
The Sears up here where I used to live, it was awesome back then because they had an N64 like demo unit, but every time like a demo ended, Mario would come out and say, "Thank you so much for playing N64."
Thank you so much for playing my N64.
With my experience, I didn't even know the N64 until I saw a commercial of Mario jumping in 3D. I'm like, the hell is this?
So you didn't know nothing about. So pretty much from NES to N64, you was just like
in a bubble.
Well, okay, let's keep it real. Okay, let me help Triple real quick. Nintendo outside of America, maybe parts of Europe and Japan, was ridiculously secretive. If you were not from those 3 places, you didn't really know crap.
Yeah,
until it happened already.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's just real talk. We were just like, oh my god, it does that, and that's pretty much how it went down.
Yeah, I mean, because it's kind of like, I
had to defend Triple in that regard.
Well, that's kind of one of the things that kind of shocked me was like when I went to Mexico is like in my mind I'm like, okay, America's like Nintendo dominated. Nintendo did pretty good in North America, but in Central and South America, that was Sega land. Like, Sega dominated in Central and South America. Matter of fact, you can still go to parts of Central and South America and find Sega Genesis with all those fucking modular ass. It's the CD. It's the 32X. It's the Saturn. I'm like, you motherfuckers really love Sega around
here. You want to know something funny? That's partially right for Trinidad too.
Yep.
Sega was more popular in Trinidad than Nintendo.
Yep. No, North America is Nintendo and Japan. They did pretty well there, but other places, Europe is Sony land.
No, America is Xbox land.
No, it's not. Look, Microsoft wishes it was Xbox land.
Europe got Sony, and Nintendo is Japan, pretty much.
Europe is Sony. America, believe it or not, is actually right now. It's kind of split between. Like, if you're looking at last gen, it's actually split between Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo pretty evenly. But if you're looking at like overall dedicated gaming hardware sales, Nintendo is still pretty much kicking everyone's ass in America. People don't like to talk about it.
You just have to bring in the handheld.
Yeah, if you bring in the handheld, they're kicking everyone's ass. In terms of profitability and brand, like everything like that. Nintendo.
Okay, because I was about to be like, man, you're being harsh, but then you said profitability, and like, okay, now you're just being cruel.
Yeah, they're doing because people are like Nintendo's doing moderately okay in America. They're dominating Japan. Like they own 66% of the market. Okay, so basically, like they own their house. They're doing pretty well in their colony. They're never going to take over Europe because Europe.
Okay, we are at a crossway.
Yeah.
Now, as gamers, we shouldn't give a crap about this stuff. We really shouldn't. We should just be concerned about the companies we like is profitable enough and we're enjoying our games.
Well, normally
let me finish. That as people who love gaming and are honest with ourselves, we can't ignore the BS. Yeah, so unfortunately, we got to dig into the deeper stuff.
Exactly.
And people are like Nintendo is not doing this. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, as a dude who didn't even touch Nintendo for several years, Nintendo's doing damn good. Could they be doing better? Yes.
Yeah.
Because you know why?
Bad.
No,
But profit-wise, they're fine.
Yeah.
They are doing fine.
yeah,
They should be doing great, but that's a different argument altogether.
yeah.
Well,
No
like
company's
I said,
perfect.
They could. Let me put it this way. The Wii,
I was excited.
the Wii and the DS were flukes. Okay. Normally Nintendo does okay, like because of how they structure their business and how they take risk.
They're Japanese.
Even when
They're,
shit
they're,
is
the
okay,
Japanese only take two
Nintendo does well.
stances. They're bold or they're conservative. Nintendo usually go conservative.
Yeah, but
Which is
even-
ironic because they do have sexual toys. I just got to point that out. Level
But
toes.
even
You know,
when they
just,
are conservative, like even okay, when other people are doing okay, Nintendo does well. When other people are doing like are doing like horribly, Nintendo does okay. Like basically, Nintendo is playing a completely different game than everyone else. Sony and Microsoft are playing checkers. Nintendo is playing shogi.
oh my God, dude, you said it perfect. Because I thought you was going to say chess at first. I'm like, no, Shogi is a perfect example.
Shogi. Yeah, they're playing
Everybody's
something
like,
completely different.
there's like, oh, let's play checkers. They're like, no, we're playing Shogi.
No, let them play checkers, and Nintendo's gonna go play shogi, which is a completely different game. So, yeah, our last question before we got segued off into people making up shit, and then you bring the facts and they get mad.
Apologies.
Honesty, trust, and
That's
cooperation.
partially my fault with my ADHD, but anyways.
No, a lot of people do that because the reason we talk about that is because look, you can like whatever the hell you like, but don't tell me some shit that's false and then pretend like it's true because your favorite console manufacturer said the shit. Because I got the numbers to back me up. Do you? But honesty, trust, and cooperation. What do you do if you are stuck in a situation where the other party lacks one or all these qualities?
I stay away from them.
You say fuck it and just don't go around them. It's pretty simple. So.
Oh, it seems like Anderson Artilla didn't hear the question.
Well, the question was honesty, trust, and cooperation. What do you do if you are stuck in a situation where the other party lacks one or all these qualities? And I basically just said that, you just say fuck it and don't go around the person.
And I say, don't do business with them.
Yeah, just,
You might get in trouble too.
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Like I've had trolls come to my channel. They're like, you said this and I didn't like it, so I'm gonna say this on your channel. I'm like, let me ask you a question. Is there something that I don't know? Am I able to go through the internet and hold you hostage and make you fucking do X, Y, or Z? Because, this is a YouTube channel. What do you do when
Give me permission to speak freely for a brief moment, my good man.
You change the channel. You don't listen to it. You watch something else.
Red, can I talk for a moment?
Go ahead.
Alright. At the end of the day, let's keep it real. How you feel about yourself. Now, I'm not asking about delusional. How you feel about yourself trumps everything.
Yeah.
And people have become so weak-willed that they always have to please everybody. You can disagree with people you like or dislike. You have your own path. That's life. You all need to man up or woman up and choose your own path. Seriously, I am tired of this nonsense. Choose your path. Stand for yourself. If you can't, then step aside. You're my sheep, and I will shave your ass and make wool out of you.
Oh!
And I'll make lamb chops out of you. I'm just keeping it real. I'm done. Carry on.
But the thing is just people just don't understand that, this. No one. This is YouTube, right? Like it's a form of entertainment. People have channels. If you don't like what a channel says, unsub and leave. You don't hurt my feelings. Look, I don't do this shit for money or to get paid.
Exactly. Stop being a crybaby. You like it, you like it. You don't, move on.
Yeah. If you don't like it, just fucking leave. There's nothing. I mean, no one's holding you hostage. You don't have to watch my videos. You could go do something else. Now, if you're watching my videos just for hate watching, that's
But
not me, that's you.
if you ever unsub from Doc, just feel free to sub to the Good Shepherd.
Yeah.
But for the record, if you think I'm gonna feel sympathetic to you being a punk ass bitch, keep moving.
Yeah,
Just saying.
If you don't like what someone says, and now this is just me. If you don't like someone's content, if you don't like what they're doing, unsub. Go do something else. Look, let me put it this way. There's so many other forms of entertainment that are just as meaningful, if not more, than YouTube. There's reading, there's writing, there's sculpture, there's art, painting, drawing, sketching. I mean, there's so much awesome shit you can do besides just, watching people talk on YouTube. So
Like actually playing video games?
yeah, actually playing your video games. That's a good one. I mean,
like what I'm doing now.
Yeah, there's tons of shit you
Who
can do.
plays video games anymore? We're not supposed to talk about video games. Hello? Isn't that what video game channels are all about? Talking about video games and not playing it?
I like Anderson Sarchilla's comment on the chat. But then there's no fuel to fuel the meaningless hate that blocks the self-loathing.
Yeah, they have to fuel their bullshit. So I mean, we've reached all our questions. I don't see any.
Oh my God! No homo. I love you, Anderson.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. I really do. That is like the perfect statement.
So we have no questions in the Q&A.
But that's just like Mr. T's quote. We don't like our console, but we hate yours.
Exactly. And we ain't playing games on our console because we're waiting on greatness. No, I'm joking. But
well done. I agree with both of you gentlemen. Carry on.
but our final. So this is just the end of the podcast. But before we get to the outros, I have something to tell you guys that's going to be deep and maybe change how things are going. I will be launching a new show called Pop Culture Inquisition, where we will be talking about, popular ideas and shit like that and deconstructing them. You can say whatever you want to, even if it's controversial. But here's the only caveat in Pop Culture Inquisition. You have to defend it. Like, you have to have evidence or at least a strong argument with, some form of evidence in order to say what you're saying.
Your channel will fail.
And be trollish.
Stop. No, stop. Your channel will fail. Because gaming and life in general is...
doesn't matter what you have to say.
Okay, but...
Wait,
yeah.
what?
But Pop Culture Inquisition is not going to come anytime soon. Look for it in about a month and a half to 2 months because I'm going to have to... working on an intro for it and some really cool stuff to go with it. So look forward to that. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm hoping that it'll be it's going to be short, maybe like an hour long. We'll handle maybe 1 or 2 topics each episode. Really short, really quick.
Can you give us an example of what kind of topics you'll be discussing?
Well, okay. I'm glad you asked. We'll be covering, is Batman really all that? Is really all that badass? So we might say, well, the argument that Batman is so badass, how is it that all of his villains only go to Arkham Asylum only to escape and go around killing and murdering people again? So that would be like an argument. Or you could say, well, I mean, like, is misogyny a bad thing? Is a patriarchal society worthwhile? Like, it's not going to cover just video games, but things within popular culture. So movies, video games, stuff like that. But that's what it's going to be about. You guys can like it, dislike it, whatever.
Man down!
Yeah, but that's basically what it's going to be. And Dr. Feelgood didn't get to do his outro, so who wants to give their outro so that we can wrap things up?
That's
I'll go first. Neo Paleo Gamer, also known aka KH Anime, currently playing some Sonic, just a little throwback.
I can hear the
great
rings.
podcast.
Yeah, I can hear the rings. I knew it. I was like, yeah, you got those rings. Who wants to go next?
Oh, next, this is Kanashi Abominito. Glad to be on another one of Red Fox's podcasts, and just I don't have any fancy outro, so go on to the next person.
Okay, Anderson, go.
Yeah, I'd just like to say happy 100th podcast of BS busting. Sorry it doesn't seem
man.
But keep playing the good fight. And I guess my motto is born to lose, play the game. Live the game.
Perfect. Okay, Triple M, you go next, and then the Good Shepherd. No, Good Shepherd, give your outro.
Oh, okay. Not bad. Lesson to learn. You never do a podcast from your cell phone because people might call you and interrupt you being on the podcast. It is the most annoying thing on the friggin' planet, especially if you're deep into what you're saying.
No, it's all good, dude. It's all good.
It totally threw off my train of thought. What was I talking about before this phone call?
Dude, I don't know either. It's all good. Look, man.
You red bastard. Anyways, the point is this. Don't compromise who you are. Enjoy your hobby. Be true to yourself. Live, learn, and grow. There's no reason. This is one thing I have to say. And please listen to my words. You don't have to agree with me, but at least listen to what I have to say. Your life is your own path. Just because you like somebody does not mean you have to agree with them. Do not compromise who you are. Live, learn, and grow. That doesn't mean start shit with anybody. It just means be true to yourself. Here's a good example. Red Fox is one of my good friends. I like him a lot. But if you pay attention to any cast we're in, we argue all the damn time.
Yep. That is true.
The dichotomy.
We do argue all the damn time. But that's what makes it fun.
Exactly. Don't compromise who you are. After that, shut up and play. I'm out.
Okay, then. So, and Triple M, you go last.
Well, this is Triple M, Lone Wolf Hunters for Games that forms into a hot speedball and also pops out in the artworks. And Splatfest is going on right now. Blue Team's here, and Blastoise is here to splat you all.
So,
Team Red sucks. I just have to say it.
That just sounds
Team Red is garbage. They're alright sometimes. Team Blue all the way.
Yep, it's all about that hydro pump.
Face.
You know hydro pumps sound really nasty right about now, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it does. That's why I said stop talking about splatting people in the face. I guess this ends with me, Mr. Red Fox. It's much shorter than we started. It's a short podcast. It was a little, well, it wasn't that short. It was actually almost 2 hours, but relatively short for BS Busters. So I'm glad we made it this far. The channel is much bigger than it was when it started. I couldn't be here without you guys, the viewers. And I hope we can take things even farther. I look forward to having more conversations, talking about more topics. And it doesn't seem like it'll ever end because there's always some bullshit going on in the gamosphere and in gaming in general. So when you see it, you gotta call attention to it and let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Peace.